everyone. So today we have a, in my opinion, very beautiful limited edition. This is the Zebra Sharbo Nu in these great like matte milky colors. I think the colors are fabulous. So first let me go over the body color names. So this one they're calling Baby Pink. It's such a great color. I feel like they could have maybe come up with a better name than Baby Pink. This one they're calling Coral Red. Another really great color. Very like watermelony, at least in person. But yeah, maybe you guys can help me name this. Give it a secret name anyway, because I don't know. I feel like I definitely would not call this Coral Red, but it's just such a fabulous color. I guess I just want them to have like more exciting names or something. This one is Sand Beige. And actually, let me hold it next to the one they're calling Milky White, because sometimes it's hard to see how maybe beige something is if it's not right next to something white like that. And then this is the Leaf Green, just another beautiful. These are basically like colored neutrals, you know, this just beautiful, beautiful neutral green. So that's the Leaf Green. And then the Mist Blue. So now see, this is a good name, Mist Blue. So a couple of them lacking in the creative name department, but oh well, at least they gave us some great colors. So you might be familiar with another Sharbo Nu series we have on our store. It's more of like a dark barreled series, and they're also very nice, but they have more of a metallic look and black trim. So very different look, but all very nice. So let's get into the features of this pen for those of you who aren't that familiar with it. And I also have a couple special things planned for this video. One is to tell you some of my favorite hacks for the Sharbo Nu. It is a lot of fun to hack this pen, actually. So the Sharbo Nu is interesting in that you can actually refill the lead from the top. So if you have seen my recent frequently asked question video about how to refill lead in your multi-pen, you will know that basically every multi-pen wants you to refill by unscrewing somewhere around the middle and then refilling the lead unit inside of the barrel. So when Zebra was developing the Sharbo Nu, they decided they were going to figure out a way to basically let you refill that lead underneath the cap like you do in a regular mechanical pencil. So even though this is a multi-pen, a 2+1 multi-pen, you refill the lead from the top. You can of course do the like regular multi-pen refill way, but it's a little more cumbersome. So I wanted to show you this secret way on the Sharbo Nu that a lot of people don't know about. I didn't want to add it to my FAQ video because it's a unique feature of this one, and so that can create some confusion. But it is a nice sort of like extra little feature they put on it. So the thing about the Sharbo Nu cap is if you try to pull out like this, you're basically gonna lose your mind because it's really hard to get it off pulling straight out like this. So you twist just a little and then it comes off quite easily. And it's the same kind of thing when you're putting it back on. If you try to kind of approach it straight on, it's much harder than if you were to just kind of twist it on. So just like in a regular mechanical pencil, you can drop some leads underneath your eraser. Now this is the Eraser Refill A, in case you're wondering. The Zebra Eraser Refill A is what is used in the Sharbo Nu. So the Sharbo Nu in this series comes pre-filled with your very nice smooth emulsion ink in a red and a black 0.5. You can, of course, refill if you like that emulsion ink, but you want it a little bit thicker. It also comes in a 0.7. And then the 0.5 mechanical pencil. So the way this multi-pen works, instead of having the levers on the top, like in a lot of multi-pens, this one is a rotary style. I don't actually know if that's the correct way of saying it, but that's what I always call it. So it is a rotating multifunction pen. You rotate the barrel to, you rotate the barrel to feed out what you want to use here. And they also gave you this window, so you're going to be able to see, let me zoom so you can see better. They gave you this window so that you can see when you have something down here, your tips down here, they're giving you a hint of what that is you've got. So like in this case, they've got this little black mark here, if you can see it. So they're letting you know, hey, you've got your black ink extracted. If I go here, I see they've got my red mark here letting me know red is down here. They also put some clue on the refills sometimes for you, which is nice. Like this has some red on it so you can see. And then obviously you're gonna know if you're using your mechanical pencil if you look at the tip anyway. So, but it can kind of, you know, sometimes with these rotating multi-pens, you can feel like you keep going back and forth between the two you don't want. So this is sort of a helpful tip if you haven't noticed that on your Sharbo Nu yet. Let me zoom back. All right. So the Sudori emulsion ink in the 0.5, as I mentioned, is what comes standard. So this is, you know, billed as an emulsion ballpoint pen. However, you have a lot of hack options if you're interested. So let's get into those first. I'll show you some of my favorites. So the first thing you're going to want to do if you're interested in hacking your pen is you need to open it up and look at what you're working with here. So in this case, we can see we have these brass holders holding these little refills in there. I'm going to pull those out. So you can kind of see, so you're like, oh, okay, these are those little teeny tiny refills. And you might start to think about other pens you have that hold refills similar. That's always sort of like my first step when I'm hacking a pen. And in this case, I immediately was like, okay, I've got two ideas. The Ladier refill, so I'll talk about that one in a minute. And what might be a little more obvious to some people would be the Zebra JSB refill, because it is a gel ink, like maybe you want a gel ink. So I'll kind of show you those options. Before I move on to popping in some of those for you, I did want to mention that the bottom of this pen, like a coated metal, it has some nice weight in the tip. So it's not a heavy pen, but it does have nice weight on toward the bottom to make it more ergonomic. The top, I'm convinced, is mostly plastic. It is possible that this sheath right here is metal, but I think the metal is in the bottom. Sometimes it's hard to tell. You know, the literature will say metal barrel, but you kind of have to suss out what parts are actually the metal parts. So back to the hack. All right, so I really like the black Sudati ink, and actually let me show you the swatch. So I really like the boldness of the black Sudati emulsion ink that comes in the Sharbo Nu. I don't tend to use red, so that's kind of the one that I like to figure out a hack for, basically. So one option I really like that I hinted at before is the Sakura Ladier refill. And I'll link to these in the description so you don't have to go crazy looking for them. So this is not focusing. Oh, whatever. But one reason I like these Ladier is they're very fine, unique. There's like, instead of being like black, blue, and red, they're like sepia, sunny blue, and I forget what the red one is called. But they're like slightly different. So I really like them as a tiny writer. So I love the Ladier. It has been discontinued, sadly, but you can still get the refills. It must be used in another pen that I'm not thinking of right now. So that is a fun hack for this. And then also, just so I can kind of show you, the Zebra JSB, another really fun one. You can get that one, for example, in like a blue-black gel ink. So it's just one I like to do. So of course, hacking your pen is always an option, but because I have a lot of pen fans and pen collectors and people who love hacking their pens, that's why I like to try to include them when I can. So if you're like, oh my gosh, you're making this pen way too complicated, that's why. All right, so this is, oh my gosh, isn't that a great color? This is a Ladier refill in that sepia color. I just love it. Let me kind of put it next to the black. Okay. And then I'll show you the blue black. So this is the Zebra JSB blue black. And this one's in a 0.4. So you definitely have some gel, especially some like fine tip gel options for this pen. But you also have, for those of you who don't like the Zebra's emulsion ink, and there are definitely people out there who don't, if you're like a diehard Jetstream fan, you can totally get this guy in there. So this is the Jetstream SXR 200, and it would mostly be used to fill like the premium Jetstream multi pens, like the Jetstream Prime Multi, I think would be one of the names of one of them. I'll put some examples below so that you can see what I'm talking about. So you can totally get a Jetstream refill in here, and I will show you. I like my Ladiers so much, I want to put them back in. Now, of course, if you're hacking your pen in this way, you might lose some of your ability to get your hints from the window of what's going on. So definitely keep that in mind. So this is the Jetstream, and what size did I choose? Because you can choose a lot of different ones. Oh yeah, this is the Jetstream 0.5. So a lot of nice options for this pen. Now, before I go, I'd like to let you know that I have persisted and negotiated a deal with Frank. So I feel that there are a lot of you out there who have been watching my videos for years, and I would just like to figure out ways that I can, give you something when I can. So if you are watching this video in the first 5 days that it's out, so I will put up on the screen now the date that this code will expire. But if you use the code Sharbo Nu in the next 5 days from when this video is released, you'll get an extra 10% off of your Sharbo Nu. So this applies to this brand new Sharbo Nu that is out, but I'm also going to put that discount on the Sharbo Nu, this darker series. So I will make sure those products are linked below. If you are seeing this video, if you've watched the whole this whole video, and you're like, oh darn, it's, past the date, I missed out, make sure you're subscribing because I basically talked everyone here into letting me start doing this more often. So, yeah, I'm excited about that possibility. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.